It is time to get our selling on. This will be the first round of selling that we've got going on where we can get our canola transformed into money for us. Looking at right around 1300 at the grain mill. So that'll be pretty nice. That'll be decently over 30,000. Or right around 30,000 liters that we have. So, I mean, it's going to be a fair bit of change for us. And that will probably actually be used most likely to get the last field in our kind of area. And that'll be really nice. That'll enable me, once we get through this next harvest, we'll be able to plow it all up, transform it into two giant fields that we've kind of been wanting to do, and we will be able to get even more out of our land. All of that will just be really nice. Yeah, that is nice right there. Seeing a lot of money come in. That'll be really cool, and we've got a good amount of oat flour that we're going to sell as well. I think that's in next month or maybe the following. But yeah, that'll be really nice too. But this is pretty sweet. This is a nice little kind of like bonus and kind of simple too, where it's just, harvest it, silo it, and sell it off. And so this will be pretty nice. This does look really cool. Just kind of like a light dusting of snow. I do wish like the game was able to render a little bit further out. I know that like with if you get into the XML files and other stuff, you can do a little bit more, but I've got everything pretty maxed out, and so it's all good though. About 8,000 more. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be pretty nice. This is actually feeling like a little bit of profit is really starting to happen. The last time that we sold the flour, it was just kind of like, huh, that could have been more money. It just didn't feel like a lot. And I guess I probably should have, well, no, I did look at like the difference between flour and just selling the wheat. Although I guess when you turn it into flour, it does become like less liter wise. So should really maybe dig into the math, but either way, I mean, flour is kind of the way. Technically, we're actually going to be pretty close to having enough to buy the bakery even right now, but like realistically, where we're at, we wouldn't really be able to like sustain a business. We need a little bit more land, better equipment, bigger equipment, and yeah, I mean, the idea is to actually be able to own the business, but also sustain it really well. So, there we go. Up to 129,000 in the bank. That feels pretty good. We still owe a ton of money, but that's all right. We probably won't. Might not buy the field just this second. Although I guess it would be kind of a shame if the farmer did like put something in there that then we couldn't harvest. But we'll see. Let's see if I can manage to get these. There we go. Put that down. And that is probably pretty much it for today. There might be a contract or two, but it's not really that worth doing. Not with everything else that we've got going on that we can do. Get this probably put away over here. Kind of get it all ready for loading up with pallets. Speaking of pallets, but now let's take a quick peek. Canola's gone. We're gonna have the there you are. There's the mushrooms. That'll be January. I think most of this is January. Honey's March. The other mushrooms should also be January. And then oat flour also January. And that will be about 2,000 per. And we're sitting at about 18,000. So I mean, $36,000 right there, combined with everything else that we're gonna do. That's gonna be feeling pretty good. So yeah, I will see you guys in January. Welcome to January. Here we go. Let's get some pallets loaded up. Let's get some more money in the bank. Let's see what we can make happen. Probably should have actually checked the used market, at least like a little peek in December, but that's probably okay. Stump grinder, nah. Not enough power. A sprayer is actually slightly tempting. Honestly, this thing is kind of tempting too, to be real with you. This is incredibly tempting. I definitely am kind of like keeping my eyes out for a bigger tractor. But so far, just kind of haven't really seen anything that I've been like really tempted by. But I mean, that's still the case. But yeah, we'll get this pallet loading taken care of. That's probably too tight. But yeah, we'll get this taken care of, and I will catch you guys on the other side. And we are off. Still the supermarket, probably. It's been pretty consistent. It's pretty close, but yeah, supermarket looks good. Take it there, support our local supermarket, and make some pretty decent money. This should be a decent haul. Then we'll maybe take a peek at the contracts, but most likely we're just going to kind of move right along, trying to get to the point where we're selling oat flour and just taking care of stuff. I guess technically this is probably not the best time to sell the honey. I think that's what I discovered. Yeah. It's all loaded up. I definitely just kind of got carried away while I was doing the pallet loading. I was like, I'm actually like doing a relatively good job compared to the last few times. So I just kind of kept going and it felt good, and so here we are. But that's alright. We'll make a good turn of profit here as long as nothing falls out. I should just keep the straps on all the way through. But yeah, no, that's pretty nice. I'll take that. Going up to almost 145,000. Feels pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, we'll get on back to the farm. See what else we can get into either today or maybe next month. Oh yeah, this is prime time to be driving around, doing a forklift. That's a very interesting white line. I guess that's just a part of probably the original kind of landscape of the farm, but yeah, it's a prime time, you know, driving around with a forklift, loading things up. But it should be the high time for oat flour. It was really interesting. I just saw like, all right, so only the farmer's market. Like, I think a couple months ago it was January is the high time, and then we got into January, and it was actually now February. That is the high time. So you know, I think it's kind of cool the variableness of everything. Yeah, we'll get this loaded up and get it selling. We're gonna try and get as much as we possibly can onto these my two various flatbeds right here. See how much we can do. Alright, let's see how much we've got left here. So we have 5,000. I guess that's probably what is in the building. So there's 6 here, and there's 4.5 in there. So that'll be 10. How much did we get down here? We got, let's see, that'll be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So theoretically, it'll be like a perfect 2 loads as long as everything works out for how I'm thinking. It just happened here, but whatever. Get all that strapped down. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get. Yeah, alright. Now I'm just, oh, I guess I should probably close that. There we go. Squished it in there. It's all good. Now we'll just really have to be somewhat careful here. Let's go see how much we're gonna make with this round. Right around that kind of $20,000 mark. That's what I was hoping for. And 2 rounds of that, $40,000. That'll be pretty nice. It's feeling like there's a little bit of profit actually starting to happen. It's like we actually have enough money to buy something and then still have money. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we'll get the rest of this loaded up, sold, and I'll get back with you guys when we're done with it all. As long as I don't keep on opening and closing doors instead of tailgates. Alright, big numbers, people. Big numbers. Let's see what we can do. That does feel pretty nice. 187 in total. That's a pretty nice number sitting in the bank. I haven't seen big numbers like that since we took out the initial loan. So yeah. You definitely don't get into farming for the money. That's what they say. Although that is entirely the reason that I'm here. But we're trying to make something big happen. So. Alright, that concludes our selling season. And it really wasn't a bad one by any means. That was a good amount of money made. Not a terribly large amount of effort currently. It's definitely going to go up as we keep on getting more and more. And of course, there's some more pallets of mushrooms already. That makes sense. I probably should have checked that. Yeah, we'll probably take care of those in a second. But that is pretty solid for an episode, I'd say. So yeah, we'll probably catch you guys. Probably next round will be the harvest, and I definitely might kind of skip through a little bit here just to get through to the barley harvest, which really isn't actually that far away. And because yeah, I'm discovering that there's less and less kind of good contracts that are popping up. Like there weren't as many cultivating contracts over this winter. There's nothing right now, which I mean kind of makes sense given the weather. But yep, I think we did a good day's work. Got plenty of ruts in the snow to prove it. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.